Welcome back to my channel, where we break down the latest in finance, technology, and the world of cryptocurrencies. Today, we're diving deep into the current state of Bitcoin, its recent price action, technological upgrades, and the broader impact it's having on global finance in 2024. Buckle up because Bitcoin's journey is more exciting than ever. Let's get started. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Digital Tech, and today we're talking about Bitcoin, the cryptocurrency that changed the world. Whether you're a seasoned crypto investor or a curious newbie, there's a lot going on with Bitcoin right now. We've seen huge price movements, major protocol updates, and some big steps towards wider adoption. So let's break it all down. As of late 2024, Bitcoin has been on quite a ride. After significant volatility throughout the year, its price has seen a major rebound. Currently hovering just above the $45,000 mark, Bitcoin is up about 30% from its lows earlier this year. This recent surge comes as investors are becoming more bullish on Bitcoin's future, particularly after some key developments in the broader macroeconomic. But what's behind this price surge? Well, it's a combination of factors. First, let's talk about inflation and global economic uncertainty. With traditional markets struggling, Bitcoin is being viewed by some as a safe haven asset, often referred to as digital gold. Central banks around the world are tightening their monetary policies, and investors search for ways to hedge against currency dev. Global inflation rates have been persistently high, and central banks like the Federal Reserve have been raising interest rates in an attempt to curb inflation. However, this tightening environment has made fiat currencies less appealing. Bitcoin, with its fixed supply of 21 million coins, is increasingly seen as a deflationary asset, one that can hold its value over time. Global inflation rates have been persistently high, and central banks like the Federal Reserve have been raising interest rates in an attempt to curb inflation. However, this tightening environment has made fiat currencies less appealing. Bitcoin, with its fixed supply of 21 million coins, is increasingly seen as a deflationary asset, one that can hold its value over time, unlike fiat currencies that can be printed at will. Another factor driving Bitcoin's price is the ongoing development of its mining ecosystem. Despite the volatility, Bitcoin mining has become more efficient with the development of new hardware. We've seen some interesting innovations from mining companies that are helping to push the network's security while reducing the energy consumption per transaction. That brings us to the second major factor, technological upgrades. 2024 has been a pivotal year for Bitcoin's development, with several key updates improving its scalability, privacy, and overall usability. Let's break down the biggest upgrades that have been rolled out in recent months per transaction. That brings us to the second major factor, technological upgrades. 2024 has been a pivotal year for Bitcoin's development, with several key updates improving its scalability, privacy, and overall usability. Let's break down the biggest upgrades that have been rolled out in recent months. Global inflation rates have been persistently high, and central banks like the Federal Reserve have been raising interest rates in an attempt to curb inflation. However, this tightening environment has made fiat currencies less appealing. Bitcoin, with its fixed supply of 21 million coins, is increasingly seen as a deflationary asset, one that can hold its value over time. For those unfamiliar, the Lightning Network is a system built on top of Bitcoin that allows for instant payments with extremely low fees. It does this by creating payment channels between users, which enables off-chain transactions. This means Bitcoin can now be used for microtransactions and day-to-day purchases, something that wasn't possible before due to Bitcoin's scalability limitations. Next, let's talk about Taproot, one of the most significant Bitcoin upgrades in recent years. Taproot, which was activated in late 2021, enhanced Bitcoin's privacy and scripting capabilities. In 2024, we're seeing its impact more clearly. Taproot makes transactions more efficient and private, especially for smart contract applications. While Bitcoin isn't a full-fledged smart contract platform, like Ethereum, Taproot gives developers the tools to build more sophisticated applications on Bitcoin. Another key development is the growing use of Bitcoin in decentralized finance, or DeFi, With Bitcoin's increased programmability through Taproot, we're starting to see more Bitcoin-centric DeFi protocols emerge. Platforms that offer lending, borrowing, and yield farming, all using Bitcoin as collateral, are gaining traction. On top of that, we've seen massive institutional adoption in 2024. Bitcoin exchange-traded funds, or ETFs, are now a reality in several countries, including the United States, Canada, and Europe. These ETFs allow investors to gain exposure to Bitcoin without having to directly buy and store the cryptocurrency themselves. This is huge because it opens the door for traditional investors, including hedge funds and pension funds, to add Bitcoin to their portfolios. And speaking of institutional adoption, we can't ignore the role of Bitcoin in corporate treasury management. Companies like MicroStrategy, Tesla, and Square have made headlines for adding Bitcoin to their balance sheets, and as of 2024, this trend is only accelerating. Large corporations are beginning to recognize Bitcoin's potential as both a store of value and a hedge against inflation. Another area where Bitcoin is making waves is in cross-border payments. As we all know, remittances are a huge industry, and Bitcoin is increasingly being used for cross-border payments, especially in countries with unstable currencies or high inflation. Platforms like Strike are using Bitcoin's Lightning Network to enable near-instant, low-cost international money transfers. So, what's next for Bitcoin? With all these developments, the future of Bitcoin looks incredibly promising, but there are still challenges ahead. Regulatory clarity is one of the biggest obstacles Bitcoin faces in terms of global adoption. Governments are still grappling with how to regulate cryptocurrencies, and that uncertainty can create volatility in the market. Countries like the United States and the European Union have been working on crypto regulations, but the process is slow and often inconsistent. On the other hand, some countries like El Salvador have fully embraced Bitcoin as legal tender, and others like Japan and Switzerland have created more favorable regulatory environments for crypto. Still, despite these challenges, Bitcoin's position as the leading cryptocurrency remains unshaken. Whether it's its technological improvements, its role as a hedge against inflation, or its growing adoption in the global financial system, Bitcoin continues to evolve. So, what do you think? Is Bitcoin heading for another all-time high in 2024, or are we due for a correction? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss out on the latest crypto updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.